Good evening, everyone. Live from Las Vegas, this is the Sports Adrenaline Show. The Vegas Golden Knights swept the NHL awards last night at the Hard Rock, and as one fan quipped, now we can have a parade. And, we also have the release of the regular season NHL schedule today. We'll get into that. News from the Raider Nation, Derek Carr under center in the Gruden era. We'll talk about that, as well as wideout Martavis Bryant. Will he face suspension again for drug use? It appears as though that was just a bogus story. UNLV football landing another local prep star for the class of 2019. Coach Sanchez and his staff really are getting after it on fire on the recruiting trail. We'll talk a little bit about Rebel football, NBA draft day. Brandon McCoy, how far did he fall in the draft? And Troy Brown, the former Centennial High School star, he was selected today, number 15, by the Washington Wizards, but not invited to New York, which is that's weird. I mean, they knew he'd be like a top lottery pick, and they don't invite him to New York. So that's silly. Also, the Las Vegas Aces, we'll talk about them, and we have a special guest on set. I'm Tony Cardasco. Matt Gutierrez is here. Haley Brooks is here. Luis Negretti, the two-time Emmy Award-winning Luis Negretti, our production assistant, is here. Rich Giacovino is our producer. John Castanino's on vacation. And in John's place tonight, we'd like to welcome, it took us months, to get this interview on set. We've got Cash, the soccer rocker from the Las Vegas Lights, joining us.
Yeah.
And so we don't expect to have any temper tantrums tonight, right? Okay.
Cat's looking good over there.
So,
I like
it. If you are tuning in on Facebook, please get on board. Haley, any other tips for our viewers out there tonight?
Yeah, we want questions for Cash. So if you guys have anything you want to ask or say to Cash, by all means, reach out.
So you're like the Plaza Hotel. You're giving away cash for questions, or what's going on here?
Yes.
Yes, sort of. Okay.
Yeah. So.
They give away chips, right? Every time that they score more than 3 goals.
How long do you think those chips last?
How long did they last?
Yeah.
I want to know the story.
In their hands. I mean, is it an instant table thing, and that's a wrap?
They just go right there. They might.
Are they spreading it out, or is it like $100 on red and it's over?
That's it. I want to hear some stories of some
I
of the
want to
players
know.
either going.
I want to know what's going on there.
Bust, or some of the players winning a lot of money. So let's get into the Vegas Golden Knights. They accomplished something at the Hard Rock, Matt, that they couldn't complete during the Stanley Cup final.
Oh God!
That is winning 4 in a row. They won 4 in a row.
They did win 4 in a row. They swept it. They swept the awards that they were up for, which was great. It was nice to see. It was a nice compliment to what was already an amazing season. I mean, in the end, it doesn't mean much other than individual accomplishment, but still, it was good to see. It was good. The suits were on point, weren't they?
Yeah.
Did you see the suits England and Carlson were wearing?
They got them from Stitched, probably.
Custom lining in
over there at
looked
the Cosmo.
good, man.
Yeah,
looked really good.
Looked really good. And then, so Gerard Gallant wins the Jack Adams Award as Coach of the Year. McPhee, the General Manager of the Year. Derek England won the Mark Messier Award for Leadership. And Vegas Bjorn, as I call him, William Karlsson, he received the Lady Byng Trophy for the league's most gentlemanly player. And I actually nominated Ryan Reeves for those honors.
I'm sure you did. I don't think Reeves was going to win that one.
So let's talk about Karlsson, first of all. As he wins the Lady Byng, 43 goals this season, and again this week he's talking about wanting a long-term contract. Yes, he does. We believe that he does deserve to get paid. How much, I'm not quite sure. He will be eligible for arbitration. I think that's where he makes his money, because the Golden Knights will not pay him the money.
They will.
I will make that prediction right now that they will not pay William Karlsson.
And what are you basing that off of?
I'm just going to base it on the fact that they won't open the doors
but
when it's 106 degrees outside for us to watch a game indoors.
They have $30 million in cap space. They have to start paying guys, and they're obviously going to start with guys that are in-house. I'm sure they have a list of people that they hope they can bring in, perhaps Erik Karlsson if some of these trades go through. John Tavares seems like a long shot at this point, but I mean, they have money that they have to spend. Karlsson is a guy that I think that they're willing to spend that money on. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets somewhere in the neighborhood of Marchessault, which was 5 years, $25 million. He's getting about $5 million a year now. So why can't Karlsson get something close to that? 5 or 6 years, $5 or $6 mil per.
I'm still concerned, about him wearing down in the Stanley Cup final and really being non-existent. I'm concerned about that.
They just got beat. It has nothing to do with being worn down. They got beat by a better, more skilled top line. That's what happened. I mean, let's be honest. That top line for Washington was fantastic through the entire series. Even the game they lost, Game 1, they were just amazing throughout the entire playoffs.
Yeah, but if
they shut them down.
If you're making $5 million a year now,
he's not making $5 million a year.
Okay,
yet.
I'm saying when he does, and if he does, no matter who pays him that money, he's going to have to perform.
Has he already peaked? You tell me that Karlsson has already peaked?
I say 43 goals. I will take the under. I'll take the
player
under
that he will ever be.
I'll take the under next season.
Okay, fine.
I'll take under 43 goals.
So he scores less than 43 goals.
I'll
Does
take
that mean
under
that he
42
can't
and a half
become a
goals
better all-around hockey player?
Well,
that's what you're paying him to be. Is one of the better players on this team.
We don't know, but we knew Marchessault when they paid him the money. We knew that he was a pretty consistent player, right?
Isn't Marchessault on that top line?
Yeah.
How'd the top line do in the final?
Not very well.
And he's part of that top line.
But they already paid him.
So okay.
He doesn't have to worry about doing that. So the Knights have until 2 o'clock Las Vegas time on Monday to make an offer. Other teams can make offers for restricted free agents starting June the 26th. So let's check in with Haley and see if there's anyone with any questions here on Facebook. We are on Facebook Live.
Everyone's pretty quiet. Cash, I don't know what's going on. I feel like you need to be a little more vocal, maybe. I'm just kidding.
I don't think Cash says much over there.
No, Cash waves, though. Speaking of waves, funny story. So you know how you can wave on Facebook?
Yeah.
Someone in this room waved at my boyfriend on Facebook.
It wasn't me.
Matt.
Matt?
I didn't wave at anybody.
You waved at my boyfriend.
I don't even know who your boyfriend is.
I swear to God. True story. So I just want to call you. If there's something going on, you can tell me.
I don't even know who said boyfriend is. So if there was a wave going on, that was completely accidental.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And,
all right, guys.
Can you still wink at people? No, or whatever they do. That's kind of awkward too. Or can you rub people's elbows a little bit?
That's the next one.
Yeah, we don't do that around here. Okay. So meanwhile, could another Karlsson be headed to Las Vegas? So. The Ottawa Senators this week traded away Mike Hoffman, first to the San Jose Sharks, and the Sharks dealt him to the Florida Panthers. So we know that whole story. Hoffman's fiance caused a lot of issues, supposedly harassing teammate Erik Karlsson's wife, Melissa, and you knew that one of the two players, now maybe both of them, will have to go. But now there's renewed interest in talks that the Senators are still interested in dealing Karlsson along with Zach Smith, and that was the package deal at the trading deadline. And we're reading a lot of trade rumors. And today, the general managers were meeting over there at the Wynn. And you have to wonder if talks started to pick up once again.
I would imagine they did. And now I'm seeing different names like Miller thrown in there. And I didn't see Tuck's name in there today. So
after our argument yesterday
about so the package that we were arguing about yesterday on our podcast was one that included last year's number 1 overall pick is for the Knights, their top first-round pick, which was Cody Glass, who scored over 100 points in the minors this season. Alex Tuck, who ended up being a second-line forward for the Knights this season. Shea Theodore, one of their better defensemen, young defensemen, only 22 years old. Tuck's only 22 years old. And then 2019 first-round pick, I believe. That's the rumor that we saw that we were going back and forth about. I think that's expensive, to be honest with you. I think that might be a little too much if you're just going after one or two guys. I mean, that's a lot of youth plus a number 1 overall pick that you're getting rid of. Some of the other names we're seeing: Colin Miller, maybe a combination of a Theodore or pick or two. I think maybe you start to look in that direction, but yeah, I don't think that original package is something you want to go after. That's a lot to give up to bring in Erik Karlsson, I think.
And you and I differ on this because
as we do most things.
Yeah, and I say, this is the best defenseman, perhaps one of the best regarded in the NHL, 28 years old. And even if you get 3 to 5 years out of him, something has to give. They have to play better defense because the defense, as what it all boiled down to in the final series in the Stanley Cup final, was that they just didn't play good defense. VGK, I think that was a part of it. And Washington, conversely, did play very good defense. But I would give up again whatever they feel like they can part with. There's like 7 different picks here in the draft. I say you can use 5, 7, whatever you want to get rid of, and maybe one of the marquee
I don't
players.
care
One
so
of the
much
kids,
about picks.
Alex Tuck,
Yeah.
or Shea Theodore.
And like you
or
said,
Cody
one
Glass.
of, not all of. I
Yeah.
think that's the difference. Is when you're talking about picks, good. You get rid of picks. Picks are irrelevant until they become something tangible. I mean, you don't know who's going to be there, who's going to be available to be chosen at that time, and where those picks will even be within those rounds. But to get rid of Cody Glass, Alex Tuck, and Shea Theodore
Why
plus
not?
picks
Why not?
that's a lot. That's
I-
a lot.
I
That's a
don't care.
huge asking price.
I would give whatever it
No, you
takes right
wouldn't.
now to get over the
No,
hump.
you wouldn't.
Yeah, you really have to get over
No,
the
you
hump.
wouldn't, because you wanted to trade and mortgage for the future, not against the future, early in the season. Before the trade deadline, you were talking about get rid of Perron, get rid of Neal, get rid of Fleury, you said even.
said
Get rid of those
Fleury,
guys so
yeah.
that you're better
Get rid
prepared
of Fleury.
for the future. Now, you don't care. Suddenly, you could care less about 2-3 years from now. You're all in
I'm
on
all in right now.
2019.
Yeah, absolutely.
What?
Because you
You
don't
can't
get
have
that
it both
close.
ways, Tony. You gotta choose a side here.
As you found out, as the fanboys found out too, you don't get that close that often. It takes like so much luck, right? And skill, combination. You just again, like Gerard Gallant made all the right moves this season. So many variables, so many things had to fall into place for them to succeed to get to the Stanley Cup final. It's difficult, right?
Right.
I mean, it's a grind. It's an absolute grind. And if you know now what
So
it
you
takes
say
to get
sell
there,
the future, assuming that
I
making
say-
one move is
I
going
say
to get
make-
you back there?
I say make a big run here. And you have, it's not like they don't have a ton of picks coming up. It's not like they haven't stockpiled
But
in,
who
in
are
the
those
minors.
picks going to be?
You know, just again.
Who are the picks going to be? You don't know. Where are those picks going to be located? You don't
Well,
know.
I think the one thing that we know is that George McPhee knows talent. So I feel confident that he could pick talent, okay? And we also know that they can develop talent because we've seen a lot of the players, you know, start to blossom in the minors, right, this past season. So in Chicago, I think we had a lot of players that really played well that could have played, you know, for the VGKs. So let's check back in. We've got Haley and we've got our special guest tonight.
Woo!
It's Cash. It's Cash.
All right. So here's a question. You're going to answer it, but it's not a question for you, but you're going to answer it anyway. So our boy, Scott Goldbranson, would like to know, is this Matt's audition for Miami Vice?
Does he not like the salmon color tonight?
You
So, hold on,
see
let me. Miami Vice, I got to roll the
Wait,
sleeves
wait,
up,
You
right?
need to get the shades
I gotta
out.
roll
You
the
have to show them.
sleeves up,
you, have,
though.
you have to show them. It's folks. It's actually a short suit. He's wearing shorts.
No, I'm not wearing shorts. I'm not rolling up the sleeves, Scott. I'm
Wait,
not
Now
going
I
full
wore
Miami
salmon
Vice.
on the set, and I got a lot of grief. So you're going to get a lot of grief too.
But here's a question for you, Cash. We'll do this on a scale system. So how soon will we see some of last year's draft picks brought up on the team? Guesstimate, ballpark. Put your hands somewhere. That's right. That's right. There we go. There's
Somewhere
your
in there, I
answer.
think.
Somewhere in there.
Somewhere within that range.
Oh, okay. Is that the Chalice scale? Would have like?
Yes.
Are you going to fill Cash in on the Cardi B scale too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
0 to
talk
Cardi
about
B.
that, yeah.
0 to Cardi B. So, the 2018-19 regular season schedule. Get back to a little bit of hockey.
Yeah.
And please chime in with any of your questions. Of course, we've got Cash on the set with Haley's comments today. And we saw earlier in the week that the Golden Knights will open at home against the Philadelphia Flyers. That game will happen on October the 4th.
And then immediately,
But then right after that,
they're out of there.
5-game road trip. Holy smokes. At Minnesota, at
Minnesota.
Buffalo, at Washington. Oh, they play Washington again.
Right away, yeah.
At Pittsburgh and then at Philadelphia. And that, my friends,
It's a tough start.
smells like
It's a tough start. Let me guess, Tony. 1 and 5 to open the season?
a 2-3 road trip.
Jesus.
Yeah, 2-3.
Yeah, I mean, far too early to start predicting
course.
what's going to happen here. But
then they come
thing
back for
that
a
stuck
5-game
out to me,
homestand after
well,
that, so.
in the before you even get to mid-November, you've got a 5 and a 4-game East Coast road trip. I mean, that's tough. That's a tough thing to have to go through right off the bat. I mean, those aren't going to be easy trips. No matter who's on the schedule, to be on the East Coast, 9 games in the first just over a month is a lot to ask of any team, especially coming from the West Coast. So tough one to start out with. But I'm sure Haley's excited about the Philly thing.
I'm going. I will be there.
And you saw what the Flyers tweeted out. Did you see what they tweeted out?
When
Oh
they
yeah,
tweet-
they're already running their mouth about the amount of orange that's going to be in T-Mobile.
Yeah, the last time we were.
Better check your boys over there in
there.
Philadelphia.
You know what?
All right.
What? I mean, I won't doubt them. And like when they did come out
Cash,
here last season,
total disbelief by Cash.
Cash-
I
not
know,
very happy
sorry,
with your-
it's where I'm from.
Yeah.
East
Oh,
Coast
no,
pride.
come back,
Don't
Cash.
leave me.
Yeah, don't leave, Cash. Seriously, it took us months to get this exclusive interview. So,
Too high class for us.
so
A lot of back-to-backs, Tony.
a lot of back-to-backs.
A lot of back-to-backs.
But it is imperative, and we saw how crucial it was to have that quick start, right? Last season for the Golden Knights, and you have 5 on the road, 5 back at home. That's a crazy start. I don't care. That's bad scheduling. And last year, it just
It's rough.
appeared
That's a rough
like a
start.
lot of those pieces fell into place. See, too, the scheduling. They went to Canada when it wasn't like really, really cold, and they didn't have games snowed out. Not one game snowed out, right?
They're
last
probably not
season.
really going to have to deal with that again this year. They're going to be in Florida for the majority of the winter, it looks like, in January, except for the one oddball jump from Tampa Bay, right?
To
Carolina.
Detroit? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's Carolina. Where did it go? It's a Carolina, Florida, Tampa Bay trip in early February, first week of February, and then the 4-game road trip ends with a game in Detroit. I mean, I get they're technically coming back this way, but that's a long way north before you come back west. So kind of an oddball trip there. That's in February, but other than that, in January you're in Winnipeg and Chicago for a 2-game road trip, and that's it in January for cold weather. The only other road game in January is in Anaheim. It's never cold in Anaheim.
Yeah. June 22nd, the NHL entry draft. The Golden Knights have no first-round pick. Of course, that first-round pick is Thomas Tatar, right? And then,
It is.
And then in all, Las Vegas will have, or Vegas has a total of 7 draft picks. Do they care about these picks once again? I think they have enough insurance in the minors. Maybe they find 1 or 2 diamonds in the rough that are defensemen.
I think you
And
only
that's
care
the key-
about the picks based
key
on what
focus.
you can get for them, right? If you can package a bunch of picks and get a top guy to bring onto your team, then yeah, you have no problem getting rid of the picks. If there's nothing there to trade for, then you covet those picks because you don't know what those could turn into in the future. So
The Golden Knights announced this week that the camp will open on Thursday, September the 13th. And the rookies, of course, will report earlier the much-anticipated preseason schedule, much anticipated by Matt, and about 100 people that retweeted the preseason schedule. The preseason schedule. I mean, who cares about the preseason schedule? September 16th.
Cash
against-
cares. Cash got the hand up.
Okay.
Cash cares.
Just
Roadie.
gonna be there.
Yeah, anything for a road trip, right?
You have to care. It's the first chance you get to see any portion of this team on the ice. And no, it's not. It doesn't count towards anything. Nobody's excited about a win or a loss in the preseason, but you do want to see the team get back on the ice. It's the first chance you'll have to see the Golden Knights back out there since their Game 5 loss to Washington, which obviously left the entire city salty, ready for the next go-around. So, you want to see them out there.
The preseason game against the Coyotes on September 16th, and VGK also will host Colorado, LA, and San Jose. And the Golden Knights developmental camp opens up later this month. It starts next week, goes the 26th through the 30th out at City National. If I remember correctly, was that open to the public?
I
You can
believe
go
so,
out
yeah.
there, yeah.
Yep.
So you can check that out.
Pretty much everything they do out there is open to the public.
Did
They do
you
a good
see
job.
the Golden fanboys on the red carpet asking for awards?
I did.
Did you see the dog running around on the red
did.
carpet?
Did it do any business out there?
No,
Cash,
I mean-
earmuffs.
Sorry, Cash. Cash is all about the mascot. Yeah.
Do you like Bark Andre Fleury? Furry? Yeah. See.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a little.
I'm over it. What is? Yeah. No more. Yeah.
Well, they're rivals. They're both mascots.
Yeah.
I think Cash should squash Bark Andre. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
What do you think about the? Should I say silly? The Gila monster.
Chance.
Chance.
Oh.
What's wrong with Chance?
Yeah, they're
Oh,
boys.
wow.
That's his boy.
Yeah, come on, Tony.
No, wow. Mascot
Yeah.
love. Wow. Do we have any questions, Haley?
Yeah, well, kind of. So
Sort of.
I'll make it a question.
Okay.
All right. So Cash, do you think that Matt's being too hard on Tony? No? Okay.
Nice.
Well,
Nice.
Daniel Corsetia.
Thanks, Daniel, for getting my
he
back.
said, Matt, you're killing him. Someone throw in the towel. No way we give up on Tuck and Cody last.
Yeah, he doesn't have your back, buddy. Yeah.
I can't take you
Thanks,
serious
Dan.
with that
Thanks,
shirt.
Dan.
Also, our boy Scotty chimed back in and said Cash should be laying on the couch. I don't know if we can
Yeah,
make that work, but we might.
that's awkward.
Yeah, he's down for it. We might
With
have
all
to
those
explore.
ties, needs a little therapy. Too many ties this year for.
Yeah, you know,
for the lights?
Yeah. So yeah, well.
We'll be checking back in with you guys over there at the bar.
At the bar.
Yeah,
I think. By the way, I think the question about kids being brought up to the big club was a Golden Knights question, not so much a Lights question.
Yes.
Just
very
I'm
interesting.
basing that off of who asked the question, is why. I'm pretty sure Marcus is asking about the Golden Knights. What do you think, Tony? Guys like Glass, Suzuki.
Yeah, bring them all up. I don't care.
Probably.
No?
No, I don't care about hockey right now. It's the end of the hockey season. It's over.
Okay. We're talking about the schedule still. What do you mean you don't
okay,
care
we did
about
the
hockey
schedule. Now
season?
I'm kind of over it, and I'm not going to get all sorts of excited about a preseason schedule. Oh, hey, let's all take a roadie to Anaheim. Get a life. Get a life. It's preseason hockey. Raider Nation. Let's talk Raider Nation, okay?
Let's.
So,
Are you excited about that? Preseason's coming up, Tony.
Yes, I am.
You ready for
I'm
the
very-
NFL
of course.
preseason?
And you know, yes.
Yeah,
of
you
course.
excited? You ready for that road trip?
Yes,
Yeah,
road trips.
man.
Absolutely. Let's go
go.
to camp. Let's do a roadie. So the Atlantic reports yesterday that a previous report from the Review Journal here that hinted that Martavis Bryant could face another suspension, perhaps for alleged substance abuse, that report was nothing more than clickbait.
Right.
So it didn't seem as though there was any, I hate using that word, substance, but it didn't seem like there was anything.
No credible sources?
Yeah, there were no credible sources right behind this. And it was a story that really just didn't have any backbone to it. It really didn't. I kept trying to go, well, what made this reporter believe that there was, something up with the NFL? So Vic Tafer, he said that he was told that Bryant did not fail a drug test. He did not miss a test in the first place. So where does a story like this come from?
I'm thinking that maybe some of this information is old information that someone dug up and tried to pass it off as new. Maybe there wasn't a credible source involved. That does happen a lot. We've seen it happen close to us, where you just get bad information. You're trying to be first, trying to be out in front of something, and you hope that your source is right, and it turns out that they're not, and now you're on the hook for it because obviously A, you're not going to out your source, and B, they're never going to cop to it to begin with. So, coming out of the meetings in April, Bryant met with league officials in the NFL, left the offices with everything being okay. There wasn't any problems. They said he was good. Like you said, no failed tests recently. Nothing new to report. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you have to wonder how tangible this is, and it doesn't seem like it has any legs. Now, it could be the NFL dragging their feet. We don't know. They may be investigating everything behind closed doors, not telling anybody what's going on. And here we come on July 23rd when it's time for guys to report to camp, and Bryant gets a suspension. And we won't know. But as of right now, it doesn't look like anything is going to happen, and he should be ready to go come July.
The Raiders announcing today that rookies will report July 23rd, veterans on July 26th, and then August 10th will be the first big preseason game. But I want to see the practices. I do want to see practice against a live practice against Detroit,
Yeah.
so that we could come back to Vegas and bet on whatever side we feel will be more dominant at that time.
That's your niche now.
No,
Preseason gambling, Tony.
No.
Is that where you're going?
I'm not going there. Thoughts about Derek Carr? They've been working him out a lot more, according to several reports, not clickbait, where Derek Carr has been working under center directly. He's got, the best center in the game in Rodney Hudson. And under the new John Gruden system, he believes that will enable Carr to, drop back and pass and feel comfortable, but also the ability to get the rock and hand it off, in quick fashion. What do you think about operating under center compared to the shotgun formation?
Carr hasn't been under center too much since he broke his finger, which was in 2016. I think it was week 13-ish, somewhere in there, against Carolina. Just under center, took a snap, caught him right on the point of the finger and broke his finger. And with the injury and then the offensive coordinator change to Todd Downing going into the 2017 season, he just hasn't gotten back under center that much. Downing ran a lot more shotgun formations. They tried to move guys like Cordell Patterson over into the backfield on motion and run them on kind of counter plays. A lot of single back sets and more of that read option style. And it's not conducive to a power running system, especially when you have a guy like Marshawn Lynch back there. You want to get somebody in front of him and start moving guys forward. Also, it kills your play action. You don't get the same kind of motion on play action. And Carr is great with the play action. And it's a timing thing. You get him in these drops. You get him in these 3-step, 5-step, or 7-step drops and get the ball out of his hand really quickly with this great offensive line in front of him. I think the biggest thing that I saw was him working with Rich Gannon out there. Rich Gannon knows Gruden's system. I mean, he was NFL MVP.
And Gannon said that he was impressed
under that system.
Yeah.
And I compared last season before the year started. I compared some of the things that Derek Carr does to Rich Gannon and just his style of play, the way he looks guys off, the way he was pump faking in 2016. We didn't get a lot of that last year. Last year was kind of just it was a real uneven season overall. But if you can get that kind of performance from Derek Carr, a Gannon-esque kind of performance, and using his legs more, not being a running quarterback, but just using his legs more to buy himself time or to pick up first downs, that's what Gannon was great at. And he was efficient. He was extremely efficient, didn't turn the ball over. I think you're going to see the best Derek Carr that we've seen so far with this system.
They were not on this list, the preseason lists of the top 10 offenses, right, in the NFL. I still say the Raiders will be a vastly improved offense, and I think that they will land in that top 10. I really do believe that.
If Bryant's healthy, if Lynch plays like he did last season, with the addition of Jordy Nelson, moving Cooper to the slot, John Gruden's offensive system, this is a top 5 offense.
Right.
I really believe that.
The offensive line will do much better in run blocking.
Absolutely. Look at the weapons you have. If Lynch, we saw what Lynch could do last year when he was given the ball. He was great. Lynch, Nelson, Cooper, Bryant, Cook. Weapons all over the field, plus one of the top 3 offensive lines in the NFL.
Folks, we are on Facebook Live, and Haley Brooks is here with our very special guest tonight, Cash, the soccer rocker from the Las Vegas Lights.
Do you guys have any questions for Cash? I feel like we've been waiting for this interview so long.
I wanted to know if Cash also receives a $100 gaming chip if they score 3 or more goals. Do you want to pass along that question, Haley? On the DL?
It's under the table, I think.
We're not supposed to tell.
Okay, we're not supposed to talk about that.
So after every game, the Lights players take their jerseys off and give them to fans. And how many jerseys have you gotten rid of so far this season?
Really?
A lot. Wow.
It's a lot of jerseys.
Wow.
It's a lot of jerseys.
So many.
I have another question. Cash, when was the last time you shaved your chest hair?
I'm going to go with never.
Got the hamburger meat all hanging out there.
Natural.
Is that the
man?
Wow. It's the Austin
Looking good.
Powers look. It's the
Got that
Austin Powers
70s
look.
swag going.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
More questions? Yeah.
No, I think I'm fresh out of questions.
Where do you do your shopping? Zappos? Well, yeah, of course. Zappos.
Obviously.
Oh, wow. Is it?
Whoa. You're good.
We're just ripping
I'm
apart.
going to have to buy another one from Zappos, so.
Exclusive interview with Cash. Raider Nation, some more questions, topics, and what have you. Khalil Mack does not show up. Mandatory minicamp last week. So, again, John Gruden, should he be concerned? I think he should, because I think this is really an important time, especially with a new system, new head coach.
I mean, yeah, the system's a big deal. You got to get in there with Paul Gunther's system and get as many reps as you can within that system. But again, they've only had OTAs. They've only had a 2 or 3 day mini camp. We haven't gotten into training camp yet. Training camp, again, like you mentioned, starts in late July. That's when Mac needs to be there. I don't think it's going to go all the way to that point. I think they'll find a way to get something done before the July 26th deadline or start of actual training camp. I feel like Mac will be there by then. If he's not, then you start to have issues because now you're legitimately behind because now you're in pads. You're out there learning the system. You're out there running plays. You're putting in game plans. You're getting ready for the season. That's when he needs to be out there. Mac's in shape. We all know that. He's going to be ready to go when that day comes. You just have to have that contract finalized. I mean, it's not a time right now to panic. It could be in a month, but right now it's not. I mean, it's off season. They're all on a break right now. They just got to get it done.
We have some questions and some comments. I see.
We do. So Cash, this is a question from a woman I know very well. My mom. Who does your hair? You, a man of many talents. Very nice. I might have to.
I like the Superman curl there.
Where's Mom in Philly?
No, Mom's in Vegas.
Oh, Mom's here.
Mom's
okay.
here, yeah.
Oh, that's
She's
good.
She's watching the show.
All right,
Hi, Mom.
I was gonna say up late in Philly.
No, she's here. But speaking of moms, Patty Castanino. Hurry back, John. The gang needs your ruckus. Have you met John?
We don't
Do you know
need
who
his
John
ruckus
is? No,
tonight.
we don't need John.
We're calming down.
John.
We're just starting to calm down.
Yeah, there's nobody. As much as you get under my skin with the VGK talk, I think John's ready to jump out of his chair and attack you most nights.
John has he'll come back with about 5 more crusades. He defeated City Hall. You can fight City Hall and you can win. John Castanino did fight against McCarran Airport.
Went after them.
He took an L. There.
UNLV Bookstore.
But he bounced back and he did
went after them.
UNLV Bookstore. Yeah.
Who's next? Tony Cordasco.
Jeez. Oh, gee. We got another. Has Cash been where?
Has Cash been to Harry's Tap Room?
Where's that?
No. Harry's Tap Room, that's Andrew Deming. Say hi to Andrew. Harry's Tap Room. You're ruining everything! Harry's Tap Room is a place I used to work back in Philly. So do you like bacon? Yeah? Do you like beer? Okay, then you'd like Harry's. We'll go. I'll bring you. We'll go.
Bacon and beer?
Bacon and beer.
Selfie. It's selfie day, so you need a selfie.
Oh, it is. We already took one.
You took one.
I posted it.
Okay,
yeah,
it's posted already. Yeah. We'll take another one. Yeah.
We'll take another one. Are you going to come over here?
No. It's a selfie for you.
It takes too long to get
selfie
up.
for you guys. We have, keep the questions coming here. We're live on Facebook. And again, our special guest is Cash, the soccer rocker. It's one of our favorite teams, actually, because of the marketing that they do and the way that they appeal to fans, and they know the demographic.
A blast out there, man. I mean, it's.
And Brett was on our radio show last week, too.
Right. Brett came down. Brett's a great guy to have around. He's always full of energy.
Did you check to see if Brett's working as Cash tonight?
What do you mean?
No
Cash
comment.
Working as Cash.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Oh, sorry. Never mind. It's all an illusion.
Don't ever let Tony get a job at Disneyland. He's going to ruin everything.
The kids are sleeping.
He'll ruin everything, this guy.
Yeah.
Man.
Santa Claus questions. What were we saying?
We were talking about Brett.
Oh, Brett. Yeah, Brett.
Brett Lashbrook, owner of LV Lights FC.
Yeah.
Was on with us on our Saturday morning show on CBS Sports Radio.
11:40 a.m.
Little plug there.
Yeah. Plug.
Came on with us, talked about the Chalise situation, which Haley really went after him on that one, which was fun.
Haley, look at her. She's so
in
mild.
a very polite way.
No. You're so mild-mannered, and she's like, so, Brett, Chalise, what's up with this guy? You went Philly on him. You went from 0 to Cardi B.
I forget how I asked him, but I phrased it along the lines of what's up with the savagery. Like, why?
Oh, you called him a savage.
Yeah, I called him a savage.
She did.
He said we could ask, so I asked.
I mean, and basically, what did he say?
He didn't say ask if why is he such a savage. So anyway.
Basically, it comes down to don't touch fans and referees. Is essentially what he said. I mean, it's not as egregious as people wanted to make it seem. Like he went after the guy and choke slammed him through the the bleachers, but you can't go touch fans, and that's basically what happened in a disagreement where the fan was saying not nice things to him, I guess you could say.
Are you guys familiar with South Park at all?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I imagine Shalise as Randy Marsh when the kids are on the baseball team. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought this was America. No? Okay. You guys know.
What's that going to be, 17 games suspended this year?
Yeah.
Oh, question for Cash. We've got a
Yes,
question.
I actually love this from Matt Young.
What's up, Matt?
Cash or credit? Ah, that's a knee slapper. Cash all the way.
Cash only. Oh, wow. No
Straight
chips?
cash, homie.
No
Straight
chips?
cash, homie.
Wait, we have another one
Randy
from
Moss.
Jake Gutierrez, dad, right?
Uh-oh.
Dad.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So, I mean, you don't really know John, but there's a John versus Tony. Who would take it?
Tony, yeah. Raise the roof. That's great.
You guys are in different weight divisions, though.
So
I don't know how that'd work out.
I wanted to ask Cash. No, I wanted to ask Cash, how many beers have you had in the stands with fans during the game?
0.
None.
I think that's Chalice's job.
Wow.
This is America.
Yeah,
but
but
this is America.
but I thought that was acceptable with this team. It's okay.
Yeah, back to the team itself. You talked about atmosphere, the marketing, everything that goes into it. It's fun, right?
Yeah,
it's a great atmosphere.
No, let's go back to Cash, because Cash is actually typing, and working on the computer.
Yes.
And responding to the fans.
Yes, this is all Cash.
This is great. Haley, just take a little break. Take a
I'm
breather
good.
there.
Go ahead. This is all you. Go ahead. This is Cash's comments. Oh my God, that sounds so much better.
It does sound better than Haley's
bro.
Bro.
Haley's fired.
Oh, my. Do we have any other Raiders news? I don't know. But,
No.
Steve Sisolak, the county commissioner, reported that the room taxes for the month of May amounted to about $4 million, which is good, for the Las Vegas Stadium project. And the city continues.
The theoretical stadium that's not actually being built.
Yeah, the one where, again, I saw
The tinfoil hat
I
guys
saw
in
the
Oakland,
northeast end zone starting to take that little.
Man. Yep.
Corner
They
of the
poured concrete
stadium?
on the northwest
corner,
now. They've started to go on the west side of the
Come
corner.
on.
Yep. There we
So
go.
again, the stadium, in
There we
case
go.
you're just a newbie, or in case you're a fanboy who's following hockey, allegedly for a few months, like the stadium's happening, right? And most stadiums, like Cashman Field too, probably north-south, right? This stadium's a little tilted, like me.
Oh no.
So it's it
Cashman
goes
Field's northeast.
northeast
It's going northeast.
to southwest.
Yeah.
It's on a slant.
Yeah.
But that corner, the end zone.
Well, that's the reason
The
for
northern
it.
corner is starting to take shape.
Well, what's the reason for being angled like that?
So you can look outside
pretty
and
cut
see
and
the
dry.
view of the strip.
Right. When they open up,
Yeah.
so that northern end zone is going to have basically huge window that opens up on that concourse level, and that is going to look directly onto the skyline of the strip. If you went true north, you're looking basically at Sheep Mountain. You're looking at that range, that mountain range. You don't really get the nice view of the strip. So you angle it just enough that you get the great view of the strip, and it's going to be enclosed anyway. So you don't have to worry too much about the sun killing you. Should be
So
good.
Those taxes are going to grow. And then there's also, I don't know if you saw this, but a new Southern Nevada Sporting Event Committee that has formed. So they're responsible for work on attracting a lot of events that would range from the Super Bowl to the Final Four for our city, not the World Cup in 2026. That was going to cost way too much money.
Yeah, and there's a lot of reports out there that we got snubbed somehow on it, and that's
I don't think that's true.
it's not the case. They pulled out of it.
Why
It was-
wouldn't they want to come to Vegas?
Right, exactly. Vegas
they have
pulled out of it
smaller
because, like you
stadiums.
mentioned, it's going to be
Like Atlanta, I think.
Extremely
Yeah,
expensive.
there's smaller stadiums out there,
Yeah.
or comparable ones, or they want to have open air stadiums. You said.
that's what they're saying. Yeah,
They're
and
gonna play
they wanted to build a couple, or they wanted Vegas to build a couple open air stadiums out here
Mm-hmm.
in the 30 to 40,000 range, apparently. Which, I mean, you already have Sam Boyd, but that's kind of a mess, right? You don't want to deal with that. And I just don't think they're. Why would you do that when you have a brand new 65,000 seat stadium that you could roll with. It just doesn't make any sense to have to do that.
Okay, Cash. So still standing after the pub crawl last week. Last person standing, Chalise or Cash?
Cash.
Wow, that's pretty strong.
That's a lot.
The pub
I'm
crawl was
very
pretty cool.
Hey.
Yeah. Brush your shoulders off too. Yeah.
There
you
you
go.
go.
Do we have
It's
any
the
other
early
questions?
2000s. That's what we do.
Oh, any questions over there, Cash?
Agreed.
Tony's dying over here.
Agreed.
What's that?
Nothing.
Okay. I think they're doing online shopping over there.
New cape for Cash. There it is.
Woo!
And again, just killing it over there.
So we've got
The house is coming down.
we've got some UNLV football news. Tony Sanchez and the UNLV football Rebels, they continue to land some local talent. And this week, Liberty High School linebacker Kyle Boudre announced that he, via Twitter, will be attending UNLV. So Boudre is from Liberty High School, right, and led the Sunrise region, the champions, with 61 tackles on the season, top-rated linebacker in the state. So now you have a couple of other Liberty High School players already that are on the roster for this season, with Kenyon Oblad, who probably will redshirt, not sure, and cornerback Octavian Bell, both of those players on the current roster. And I really have to hand it to Tony Sanchez for what they've done, really, with this team, because they are out just every day. They have recruits. They just finished their summer camps. They're connecting with a lot of the local talent, and there's so much talent here, and I think it's going to pay dividends. I really do.
It's extremely important that they get the local talent here, because the last coaching regime we had decided that local talent wasn't even worth their time. Didn't recruit here, didn't go after guys from Gorman, Liberty, Palo, traditional powerhouses within the city. Gorman, powerhouse within the entire nation. You have to recruit locally if you want to build not only a strong program when you have great high school programs to pick from, but you want to involve your local community. You want people in the city to be excited about the team. And what better way than to watch kids that have come up through Vegas' system go play for UNLV? You have to stay as local as possible. Go out and get guys from all over the place that you can get, but don't let your top local talent go somewhere else. Do everything you can to keep them here. And I think the addition of the amazing practice facility that they're breaking ground on, the new stadium, because UNLV is going to be playing there along with the Raiders, and they'll have their own field in there as well. I think that will only help to keep these kids here, because if you grow up in the city now, and you're playing football at a Gorman or a Liberty or one of these schools, and you're playing in the shadow of that stadium, why would you not want to go play there on Saturdays and Sundays, right?
Yeah, and the Pac-12 is going to have a big presence, so that would be a good move if somehow
Pac-14.
Because we'll have probably a preseason game at the new stadium featuring a Pac-12 team against, a top opponent, right? A Power 5 opponent. You'll have perhaps the Pac-12. Definitely, we'll have the Pac-12 championship game here. Mm-hmm. That's bound to happen. There's already talks about that, and then there was talks that surfaced here over the last couple of weeks about the Las Vegas Bowl now dumping the Mountain West, and then they will engage with the Pac-12. Mm-hmm. It'll be a Pac-12 team against, they're saying, perhaps an SEC team. And that will be a bowl game that will be very credible, and we'll get a lot of fans in the stands there at the new Raiders Stadium.
And that bowl game starts to creep up towards January 1st, in my opinion. If you're going to get a top SEC team and a top Pac-12 team, it doesn't have to be number one versus number one, but if you're getting top three from each of those conferences to play in the Vegas Bowl, that's not a bowl that you want to see played at the beginning of December. That's something you want closer to New Year's, because that's going to be a huge bowl. That's going to be a huge ratings grab. Anybody from the SEC country is going to want to come out to Vegas. This isn't a place that they ever come to for football. I mean, we've had Wisconsin out here and a couple other big name schools, but when's the last time, if ever, an SEC school has been out here?
Right.
I mean, that'd be huge. And
it would be.
Their fan bases travel in Alabama, mm-hmm. LSU, Auburn.
Right.
I mean, those guys travel. Imagine the atmosphere there for a USC and an LSU game in the Las Vegas Bowl.
It'd be great.
It'd be amazing.
Let's check back in with our special guest, Cash.
Woo! All right.
And Haley.
So we got one question that's very wrong, but I'll phrase it in a way that's more right. So, you guys play at Cashman Field. So, if you leave, is it called a cash out? Ha 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 ha.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, man.
That's better than you don't want to know.
They're just flowing today.
Here's one, though. Is there a Mrs. Cash?
Oh.
No!
Wow.
There ain't no ring on that finger.
Wait.
Ringlets.
4-finger discount? Oh, there are only 4? Yeah. Oh, there you go. I missed the extra. Sorry. One for the thumb. One for
So,
the thumb. there.
ladies,
Yeah.
you want to go to some lights games?
How many female mascots do we have in the city? Pit stops
Pit boss.
or pit boss? Excuse me.
Pit stop.
Pit stop. I got the Disney thing, the cars. Pit stop. Pit boss.
Pit boss is a man.
Not female.
That's a man.
No,
Chance.
Not female.
No.
Female. Not really that human either. So I don't
What
know.
about buckets? What's buckets?
Yeah, buckets could be a.
Buckets.
Yeah, the bunny. Yeah.
Luis,
yeah.
what's buckets? Buckets, for those of you that don't know, is the Las Vegas Aces WNBA mascot.
Woo.
Yeah. Who are riding high. They've won, what, 3 or 4 now? 3 of their last 4,
Yeah.
I believe.
More importantly, you see their jersey.
Jersey, yeah.
There we go. We could talk about that.
Yeah, hockey season's over, so they got rid of the Golden Knights jersey on the Statue of Liberty out in front of New York, and they just put up the Las Vegas Aces jersey. So, it's summer. She put the tank top on now. She's a little more laid back. Aces are playing well all of a sudden. They're a young team. The youngest team in the WNBA.
Tallest player. Tallest player on the roster is Lady Liberty.
Oh, yeah. The new center.
Lady Liberty.
The new center.
So the Aces are back at home on Friday night at 7
Cash
o'clock.
is shaking his head over there.
So that's what they're doing to commemorate this game against the New York Liberty. We stole something, and we put the Aces giant jersey on Lady Liberty
I like it.
at New York.
I like it.
So does it stay up past this game, do you think?
I would imagine. They're not going to go through that much trouble to keep it up for 1 week. I mean, it'll probably be up there for a good part of the season, and then maybe we move on to the LV Lights FC jersey.
Well,
right?
and that's what we need to
Hey.
talk
Yeah.
about right now, right? How do we get that Zappos jersey on Lady Liberty?
I think you put in a phone call to Zappos.
I think we know someone that can do that.
I do too.
Okay.
Make that happen. And then what? And we throw a 51/Aviators jersey up there at some point.
That's how they should unveil what they're officially going
Oh,
to.
Wow.
except I don't think
There's-
MGM
there's the
Resorts.
marketing
I don't think
right
MGM
there.
Resorts is one of their sponsors, though. So it gets a little dicey. Hey, do we have any word about Brandon McCoy? Luis, not drafted? Okay.
I don't think he's going to be drafted.
Yeah, that's
had to
tough
guess.
go. So
We've been talking about it for a while, and there's just no motor on that kid right now. He doesn't work hard enough on either end of the floor.
We saw DeAndre Ayton, who they had a really good battle, good matchup, but not much defense.
Saw him twice here.
So
this
DeAndre
year.
Ayton, the top pick in the NBA draft, goes to Phoenix. But, what became of McCoy? So 6'11", and then I was telling you on the podcast yesterday, right, Matt, that they had him listed on one of the pre-draft boards at 244, which would mean he put on about 44 pounds at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think 244 might be a bit of a reach unless it's bad weight, which you hope it's not. You don't want somebody to balloon up to 244 the bad way, especially when you're getting ready for a draft. And I don't imagine that getting ready for the draft that he somehow is ridiculously out of shape, but I think 244 might be a bit of an inflated number.
So let's talk about the Las Vegas Lights FC. Should we talk about the Las Vegas Lights? Okay.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
So the soccer team finally explodes and scored some goals. Do you remember how many?
Is that 4 or 5?
That's 4.
That's 4. Yeah.
That's 4.
You're gonna have
Yeah.
to count.
It was they beat Seattle, the Sounders 4-1, Father's Day Eve. Did you see Haley there drinking a Modelo? She said she was upset
identified as
that
a
dad's.
dad.
She says she was claiming that she is a dad because she owns a dog.
Oh, I thought that was going to be a high five. Fine, whatever.
So we're wondering if we saw Haley sneak in to Cashman Field to try to get a free Modelo beer. Yeah, you think so?
May or may not have been there.
Maybe might have been. So So it was Father's Day Eve, 6,785 fans. And again, it was windy out, a little windy. Did it affect your hair? Not so bad.
I think there's enough product in there.
Okay.
It's not going
All
anywhere.
right.
Cover.
That's good to know. Sammy Ochoa, a couple of goals. Angel Alvarez had a goaltender assist, which is really cool.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a goaltender assist, a goalkeeper assist, I should say. So the lights now are 4, 5, and 4. And Coach Isidro Sanchez had a sign posted in the locker room in 3 languages. You speak all 3? Do you understand all 3 languages, Cash?
8 languages.
8 languages.
8 languages.
Wow.
I don't know why there's only 4 fingers on each hand.
Freaking
Creeping
Tony
me
out
out.
over here.
Anyway, Coach Isidro
The
Sanchez.
real problem is he's having problems counting when they throw the hands up. He
Yeah,
can't
I
figure
usually
it
go,
out.
okay, one hand, that's 5. Okay, I'm with you. So Isidro Sanchez had a sign that was posted in the locker room in 3 languages that said responsibility. So he wanted his team to be more accountable. And in turn, it really did pay off. So I think one of the biggest issues, obviously, with 4 wins, 5 losses, 4 ties, inconsistency. So they need to get consistent.
They need more
They have
offense, I think, is the biggest thing.
And they
I
have
mean,
players
be more
on loan that are
consistent
going to
on
help them
offense.
out now,
Yeah.
too.
They do. And they've got coming up on Sunday. Sunday's the next game.
Yeah,
It's the Swope
the
Park
Swope
Rangers.
Park Rangers, and then back at home on July 7th against St. Louis FC. Does Cash travel with the team ever? No.
He can't take all his hair products on the road.
What does he do when they're away?
He takes up like 3 seats on the plane, so it's a bit much.
Chill
Oh,
out.
there you go.
Chill, man. Chillaxing.
Gets a hold of those bottles behind you there.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, so the next home game, you want to remind people, right, Cash, to come on out. Okay. That's cool how they flip the field over from the turf back to the 51s.
It's I'm sure they don't find it cool. I'm guessing they're ready for the Las Vegas ballpark to open up so that the 51s, Aviators, whatever they're going to be, can bounce up to Summerlin and they can take over that field full time, which will be nice. Once they get Cashman Field full time, Brett's talked about it a lot, where they're gonna put bleachers down the right field line, so you close it off to more of a horseshoe style. My guess would be they take one layer of the fencing off, like they had in 1983. And any of you that were here, season 1 in '83 for the Las Vegas Stars back then, they only had one level of fencing around the outfield. If you've ever been out to Cashman Field in the summertime, you know the ball flies out of the ballpark. So they had to throw another 10-foot piece of plywood up there and make that fence twice as high. But used to be grass berms out there. You could sit out there in that first season and watch the game from the outfield. So I wouldn't be surprised if they pull that down and kind of use that concept again, get fans out there in the outfield, so that you have, completely surrounding the field with fans, and it'll have more of a soccer feel. I mean, they do a good job with it now, but you have an entire side of the field that's not able to be used.
We remind all of our viewers tonight that on Saturday's radio show on CBS Sports Radio, 11:40 a.m. right here in Las Vegas, we will be joined by Travis Pastrana. So Travis Pastrana, he's set to recreate 3 Evel Knievel stunts here in Las Vegas next month. They'll be aired on the History Channel. It's really cool.
Man, it's crazy.
And so the iconic stunts, the first one is a jump over Cash the mascot.
What?
I mean, that
Did you know?
nobody tells Cash.
You got to get over that head, man.
That's going to be the hardest one.
Some clearance right there.
That's a lot of clearance. In all actuality, he's trying to break Knievel's record jump over the length of, 52 crushed cars, right? Haley and I did the interview, so we
Buses
should
is
know.
60, right?
16 full-sized
16.
buses.
That's a big
And those will be behind Planet Hollywood. And then the third jump over the fountains at Caesar's Palace.
This is all in one day?
Yeah. Back.
And
boom, boom, boom.
what kind of, so we interviewed, of course, Haley is our motorsports guru and fashion expert, because Pastrana's going to get all decked out.
Full-blown evil.
Do you think that he'll be
Got the cape.
maybe
Just-
he'll be wearing that
he's gonna have
cape?
the- maybe he'll wear this cape, yeah.
You might want to help Cash. He's falling apart in the back of
Oh.
the cape. The other side.
Your hair looks good. That's all that
Yeah,
matters.
it's okay. But
The boots.
the boots.
The boots.
Talk about the boots.
He
gonna be rough.
said he hasn't really he can't even walk in them. So I don't know how he expects
How's he
to
gonna
jump
ride
over the fountains. Like, what if he misses the shifter or something? Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Crazy,
I don't-
right?
I mean, good luck to him.
Yeah, he's going to wear the boots and the cape. And Haley was not afraid to ask the tough questions with Pastrana either, right?
Oh yeah, they were so tough.
No, I thought the coolest thing was, and you'll hear more about it on Saturday on CBS Sports Radio 1140, the fact that he is using the same motorcycle for all 3 jumps.
Yeah.
This whole thing is nuts. I mean, think about it. How many bones did Evel Knievel break in his lifetime?
So
I mean, the
when
Caesar's
he did
Palace jump
when he
was
did the Caesar's Palace
a
jump.
mess.
It was, it was a mess.
He broke every bone in his body.
40 bones broken.
That's nuts.
In a coma for about a month.
Now, granted, things are different. Guys, I mean, there was a time when a backflip on a motorcycle was the most insane thing anybody could have ever heard of, and now it's nothing. They're doing double backflips and whatever. But even still, he's riding a heavy bike. I mean, these are long jumps. These are not easy things that he's going to do. This is nuts.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Las Vegas.
Just falling on the pavement's going to
burn
oh,
you.
man.
The
I mean,
heat,
it's must-watch
and then-
TV, right? But
yes,
it's
and
crazy.
regardless of what the climate is like, we know the heat, right? But he's still going to jump regardless of if there's wind or not.
That's what he said, because he said, what was the story where something happened and Knievel did it anyway, and then he ended up hurting himself. You know the story.
That was the story, yeah, at Wembley Stadium over the buses.
Yeah.
And he knew that the bike wasn't, the conditions weren't right. The bike he didn't feel was running well. And he said, I'm going to do it anyway. You guys came out to see a show. So,
Just, I would hope that he sets all the jumps up facing the same way, so that way if you get a little tailwind, you're okay. If you get a headwind, you're in
just
trouble.
a little boost.
You get a little tailwind, you're good on all 3 jumps.
Well,
right?
I asked him when he does the fountains, like, how long is he actually in the air for? And he said 2 seconds.
Which probably feels like an hour when you're actually up there.
Right?
and the runway's only like 200 feet. You don't have to listen to the interview on Saturday. We told you.
It's cooler to
We
hear
got you
him
covered.
say it.
We got you covered there.
I need to listen to it. I didn't hear it yet. I'm excited.
Any questions
nuts.
for
The whole
Cash
thing's nuts.
before we depart?
Anybody? Go Lights.
Oh, go Lights.
There you
No, it's Viva Lights, right?
Oh,
Viva?
sorry. Viva.
Did you
Viva
do the
Las
V?
Lights.
Did you
Viva
do the
Lights.
V?
LV. LV.
That's great.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. It's selfie day. Luis, did you get that? You could win another Emmy if you got that on camera. Congratulations to the Rebel Report. They won another Emmy, of course. Luis Negretti and Haley Brooks are products of that fine program. So congratulations on your Emmy.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Take
Where
the
is
Emmy
it?
home? Do you get the trophy?
Yeah, where's the trophy?
No, this guy who teaches the class, he
Come on.
like hoards them all, so
What do they
we
give
don't get
you?
anything. Piece of paper.
That's it.
It's a very nice piece of paper.
So you do all the hard work, you're on camera, and all you take home is a piece of paper.
And a high five from
Goes
John,
a
probably.
high five. Yeah, a high five and something on the resume, probably.
A little bit of resume
That you
building.
embellish.
I think you should get a replica trophy. Or maybe a ring.
Nice.
A ring.
A
Maybe a ring.
A ring
You
would
get
be
a championship
nice.
ring.
We're going to wrap up tonight's show. Thanks again to Cash for coming
Thanks,
by.
Cash.
And good luck to our own Las Vegas Lights for the remainder of the season. It's been a lot of fun. We got to get back out there. It's always a blast.
Yeah.
It is.
Out there next week, right?
And be on the lookout for Haley Brooks trying to get a free Modelo beer.
Yeah. Do anything for a free beer.
They guys still have Keystone beer back there?
Keystone?
Yeah.
We used to drink that at NASCAR
Yeah.
events.
Okay. Back in the day. Yeah. Just want to regionalize it.
That
Of
East
course,
Coast stuff.
John Castanino's been on vacation. Yes, he's on vacation. He'll be joining us on the radio show. He'll call in, I guess, on Saturday.
You're going to make him call in on his vacation?
Absolutely.
Tony's relentless. Man.
Richard Jacovino is
I'm
our
not calling in
producer.
on my vacation, Tony, just so you know.
The
I
two-time
refuse.
Emmy award-winning
Refuse.
Luis Negretti on the ones and twos. And for Haley Brooks, for Matt Gutierrez, for Cash, the rocker mascot.
The soccer rocker.
The soccer rocker. I'm Tony Cardasco. We thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you once again next week right here on the Sports Adrenaline Las Vegas show. Good night, everyone.